So these basic things you need to understand.
Okay.
Then cloud is very very simpler, because if you do not understand and directly go to the cloud, then maybe you will do that by heart the terms, but
Yeah.
it will not go for
Not
longer help.
effective, yeah.
So always I suggest or I recommend people also try to do the strong basic things like relax and
Hello everyone. Hi, I'm Abhishek and I'm the host for today's session. We have Mr. Satyajit and he works in Searce as of now. Can you give us a brief introduction about your educational background and what's the role in Searce?
Yeah, hi, I'm Satyajit. Thank you for having with me today. Actually, I have passed a 2013 background.
Okay.
So I am from electronic ETC background generally. And
ECE?
Yep,
Okay.
ETC, telecommunications.
Okay.
So post my graduations, I joined in Wipro. So
Wipro. Okay.
Wipro as a campus recruitment as
Okay.
a system engineer.
Okay.
So there I used to work on the earlier generally when you start, cloud started at 2006. Okay, but
I think
AWS started at 2006 and
Okay.
Azure started 2010 and
Okay.
2008 GCP started.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time when I was there, that time the on-prem was in boom, like on-prem in
Okay.
the sense Linux, HP
Okay.
Unix. So I started my career as a HP Unix administrator. There I used to work as a storage, backup. Okay, so all we have data center, on-prem data center, all the servers we need to manage. We need to go manually and check it generally. So there I worked for 5 years in Wipro. So after that I got a chance to move into a cloud background.
Okay.
So there I used to work on the AWS cloud, the one company named Soprasteria. This is a
Okay.
France-based MNC.
Okay.
So that all are in the Delhi NCR.
Okay.
So there I worked as a infrastructure administrator. Like I used to work on AWS cloud. Okay, mainly AWS cloud.
Okay.
So there we used to create the infrastructure and day-to-day management, everything in the cloud.
Okay.
So I worked there in 2 years. Then I came to Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
One startup like Core Compute. The name company is Core Compute. It is
Okay.
now acquired by Accenture.
Okay.
So I worked on there as a senior consultant.
Okay.
So there I used to work on AWS, GCP, Azure. So as a consultant, we used to manage everything, maintenance also, everything done. So post that I got a chance working in Searce.
Yes.
So currently I'm as a lead cloud architect. So
Okay.
I used to manage like day-to-day discussions with customer and which cloud they want to choose. Either they want to
Okay.
go ahead with the AWS, they have
Okay.
to go with the GCP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then only how to bring the infrastructures like their architecture like
Mhm.
from scratch to end, right?
Understood.
So everything we need to build it and hand over to them. So like that is my roles and responsibility. Few people are like reporting to me. I used to give training to them.
Yes. Okay.
And need to, if they have any issues or something, so we need to resolve that issue. So that is my mainly roles and responsibilities.
Cool. So I'll give a little bit of introduction about EDAM and
Okay.
the podcast and what we are going to talk about today
Okay.
in this podcast. So as I said, I'm the community lead of EDAM, and EDAM stands for E-Designing and Marketing. We are the technical community of Hyderabad.
Okay.
We are student-centric.
Yeah.
Everything for students, by the students. Even we are students. I'm a fourth year. My fellow mates are our first years and second years.
Yeah.
So the podcast, we started this around 1 month ago, and we were focused on student entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
startups who are from third tier college students. And now we have a community, like we have community members of around 1400, and we did some research. We provide them resources and all. We focus on enterprise application development, starting with UI, UX, web app, cybersecurity, AML, the whole process. Even cloud is one of them. And based on our research, what we understood is students are confused which technology to start, mainly
Correct.
first years.
Correct.
Because we have so many technologies, they're confused. They just know the word cloud, they know the word data science, they know the word cybersecurity, but what exactly happens over there, they're confused.
They're not aware of it.
They're not aware of it. And after they get into, sometimes the students feel like, this is not my niche, maybe I'll work on some other technology.
Correct.
and some people don't even start because they're like, so many technologies, I'm so like, you know, like,
So which one to choose?
which
and
is to
how
choose.
yeah.
So these series of questions we'll be having, like the podcast over here we'll be having is, what exactly is the technology? When the technology existed, what are the roles and responsibilities of the technology, and how to start working on the technology and all.
Okay.
Cool. So our session is going to be like, we're gonna talk to a 8th class kid. Let us totally dumb it down.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. So in your words, what exactly is cloud or cloud computing?
Okay. So when you talk about cloud, it means as a layman term, like I'm not going for the technical term, as
Yes.
a layman, like on the basic,
Yes.
any people can understand.
Yes.
So cloud means easily accessible, okay, easily available. Wherever I go, I can use it, I can
Okay.
access it.
Okay.
As a basic term, I can understand. Let's say in old days, desktop.
Okay.
Desktop is available, you can access internet, you can do our work, but that is remain the big CPU in a room only.
Yeah.
Okay? And laptop came compatible.
Yes.
We can go anywhere, you can use a laptop.
Yes.
Just understand on that way.
Okay.
Cloud means easily accessible, easily available. I will just
It's
go
a
little-
computer which is easily accessible.
Yeah, so I will just go a little bit step behind.
Okay.
Let's say that is one way, easily accessible and easily available. Next term is, let's say you have your laptop, own laptop, which is 8 GB of RAM
Okay.
and some storage.
Okay.
You want to access it, you want to use it, okay, but let's say some of the work you are doing that requires 16 GB of RAM. So
Okay.
then what you will do on that cases, you can go to the, like, you can change, replace the
You
8
can
GB
get it
and add
updated,
another
yes.
16 GB.
Yeah.
Let's say that laptop doesn't support 16 GB, then you are gone. On that cases you cannot use it.
Yeah.
Then your work is you need to purchase another laptop.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you, let's say that laptop supports 16 GB, then what you need to do, you need to stop everything, remove, then attach that 8 GB RAM and use it. It means you need to stop your laptop and you need to again purchase a new hardware, 8 GB of RAM. So which is you are paying everything. Okay. But think about cloud. Something is there which is easily can 8 GB. You want 16 GB, just repeat 16 GB. One click, done.
You'll
can
get the
do your
access
work.
to computer.
Now 16 GB requirement, 32 GB, just one click, done.
Okay.
So easily accessible, easily you can use it. And here in the normal laptop, let's say 8 GB RAM you have used it and 16 GB RAM you requirement, you purchase 16 GB of RAM, then what you will do on that 8 GB of RAM? This is unnecessary, okay? You spend the amount but you are not going to use it. But in cloud, what you are going to use, you have to pay for that.
You can set
Let's
it.
say 8 GB RAM you are using, you will pay 8 GB, but when you
Okay.
move to 16 GB, you have to pay only for 16 GB, not 8 GB.
Okay.
Like, you are going to reduce the cost and easily accessible, and you can use it anywhere. You can say
You can
as
connect
a
it from
layman term.
anywhere.
Correct.
Cool. So what is a server?
Okay.
Because when a first year listens to the word server, they think it is something else.
Yeah. So again, I will go as a layman term,
Yes.
okay? Not in technical term, because
Yes.
if I speak about Ajay cloud, if I talk about cloud in a technical term, it will go week and months.
Yeah.
Okay, and same thing happen on the server as well.
Yeah.
But the basic things I can say, what is the server? People will people talk about server client. So what do you mean by client
Exactly.
and what is server?
Yes.
Okay? Just understand your own laptop. Okay, own laptop. That is a Windows 11
yeah,
or Windows
yeah,
10. Okay,
yeah.
that is an operating system that you are
Yes.
using. That we call as a client,
Okay.
own machines. Okay, you are only managing that. So something we call as server. Server means one parent, okay, head, and all machines, all client are connected to that.
Okay.
Okay, so there we want to disable the internet. So there you disable, you cannot use
You
it.
cannot use it. Okay.
And there you allowed the internet access, we will get the access. You can saw the master client architecture. Server is the parent and client or your operating system as a child.
Okay.
That as a layman term we can say. Server, we have multiple web server, mail server, many are there that will go beyond. But just understand, server is a parent head. Okay, we created a server, and that server have multiple client connected, so client can use it, access it, then use it. But yeah, that is we call a parent.
So basically, even a server is also a computer.
Server is also a computer. Both are
Yeah.
a computer, but they have more functionality.
Exactly.
And the hardware size is more. Like, let's say your operating system is 8 GB, that may be 16 GB or something, you can say.
Cool. So why does why did the whole concept of cloud come into the business world? Why did it all come into exist?
Yeah.
And when did it come into exist?
Okay, so that is interesting question.
Yeah.
Like people might be talking about cloud, but when cloud was not there, how used to do the
Exactly.
things?
Yeah.
So when I talk about that is we call the term on premises.
On premises.
On premises. So on premises means just understand your own server.
Okay.
Now you created your own company. You want to store the data and you want to manage by yourself.
Mhm.
On that you need to purchase your server. Like when I talk about server, that machine server, everything you need to purchase. All networking connectivity you need to do. Okay. And for that you need to purchase you need to rent a room, like because we call it as a server room or data center we call it.
Yeah,
Okay?
data center. Yeah.
So then you need to purchase that room or rent room, and you need to build the server, everything, every connectivity you
put
need
in
to
all the
do,
concrete,
and then
yeah.
you need use it. That is
Yes.
good because like let's say you build your company and you are going to use it for 3 years, 4 years. Let's say long term. That is well and good. You use it, you purchase it. That is on premises. But many problem. First of all, maintenance cost you need to bear because
you get a room,
server means the
yeah.
temperature means it will be below 16 always.
Okay.
So electricity payment. And server room is there means some security maintenance
Yeah.
you have to pay, that you have to pay, electricity bill you have to pay, and like the things like the technology is growing, like let's say Windows 10, now Windows 11, maybe in future when it's 12, 13, that will come.
Yeah.
And but now let's say now you created a server room, you are going to use which is the latest one, Windows 11 you are going to use, but after 3 years, after 4 years, you do not know what is going to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
But at that time, if again we are going for Windows 13 or 12 or 14, whatever it is, then again you need to purchase new hardware. So cost you are double.
Okay.
Cost is increasing a lot. Okay. So for that reason, people thought, right, AWS come up with the thought.
I think it was before there was some other organization.
Mainly the main market leader was AWS. 2006. I will talk about more on that. But what they thought, okay, I'm not taking the name of AWS, just taking as a cloud provider. Okay, so what the thought mind is like, people are worrying about the in hardware. So why can't we give the hardware to the people? They will use the hardware and they can build their application on the hardware. Okay, so they do not have to worry about the hardware. On that thought process, cloud came into picture. So cloud means that all data center on premises cloud, you don't have to manage it, but in the back end these things are there on premise cloud, but that is managed by the service provider. So that things cloud came into picture. So they have that server room, data center, and they have the hardware, everything, but they are changing every time. Let's say now one technology, after that updating the new technology. So now your requirement is fulfilled, and the cloud came in pay as you go model. It means whatever you are going to use, you have to pay for that.
For that much.
Like,
for that
so that is good thing, and that period of time as well. Actually, is that the correct thing? Because you are going to use for 1 hour, pay for 1 hour. But think about, you purchase your own new laptop, only work is 1 hour, but you purchase 1 lakh amount. What's the use? But you can use the cloud. That is the main benefit. In that intention, cloud came into picture. But in backend, everything is there same on-premises server room, but that is managed by the service provider.
What are the non-tech skills that are required for a person to learn cloud?
Okay, that is very interesting. So actually, I used to do the online classes. Okay. And I used to teach people who are fully non-IT background. Like they are from banking sector. They are from other non-tech. So cloud is okay. I will tell your audience as well. Cloud is very, very easy. Nothing is required. Non-IT background. Let's say non-IT background. But yes, they have to understand who wants to build or who wants to start their career. Okay, they want to basic operating system. Linux or Windows. Mainly like in the market, Linux is used 80%. Windows also people are using. If you talk about London, UK customer, they all believe on Windows. But all US customer, they all rely on Linux. They will not use Windows. So you must have to know what is operating system, what is Linux operating system. Once you understand that, then you will understand about the networking.
Okay.
Networking.
How the network
What
layer
is
works.
IP address? Basic
IP
thing. What is
address.
IP address? How many if I talk about 10.0.0,
TCP IP layer, I
which
guess,
classes
yeah.
is belong to?
Mm.
What is TCP? What is
Yes.
UDP? What is how DNS works?
Yes.
What is DHCP? So these basic things you need to understand.
Okay.
Then cloud is very very simpler, because if you do not understand and directly go to the cloud, then maybe you will do that by heart the terms, but
Yeah.
it will not go for
Not
longer help.
effective, yeah.
So always I suggest or I recommend people also try to do the strong basic things like Linux and your networking. If that
Okay.
things is good, then you can easily go for the cloud.
Okay, so we understood what cloud is, we understood what a server is, and usually when it comes to like service-based companies and product-based companies, it's about maintaining an application on cloud.
Yeah.
So in your like knowledge or experience, how would you explain what is an application? Like in a
Okay.
dumb version, I can say.
Correct. Okay, so whatever I'm discussing as a layman term, it
Yes.
is not for experienced folks. Okay?
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
for the freshers
Yes.
who wants to know.
Yes.
Okay, now when I talk about
What is an
applications,
application? Yeah.
the applications means, let's say you are using your calculator, that is also running. Some application is behind.
Yeah.
Okay, and you are using a phone, some Play Store. Let's say any Subway Surfers on game,
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yes.
Behind application is running something.
Mm.
So we can say application means there might be a programming language.
Okay.
It might be C, C++,
Okay.
Java, Python,
Okay.
Node.js,
Mm.
anything, any programming language.
Mm.
So what used to developer has to, let's say I want to build an applications, I want to know the logic, what I
Yes.
need to do, what my
Backend logic
application,
and all, yes.
who is my user.
Yes.
After that, then I will hand over to the developer team. They will create the scripting part.
Okay.
Like scripting, when I said like Java, Python, that is must be required. So they have to run that applications. Then after that, it will go for the testing. Okay, what is the intent? This is fully satisfied or not. So then the third party tester, like we know about manual testing, performance testing, right? Automation
Okay.
testing.
Yeah.
They have to test it. Once that's it tested successfully, then we will implement it. So we can say as a application means what is the business functionality. Let's say calculator. Calculator intent is for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So does this is working or not? Okay, that you will do on the testing. Once that is done, then that applications need to be installed from the hardware. When you talk about server applications, right? Server.
So what is deployment? I think you're talking about deployment, right? Deploying the hardware. So how would you explain deployment?
So deployment means, like, let's say you have a server, okay, or you have a computer, let's say.
Okay.
Deployment in the sense, again layman term, your laptop. You want to install VLC media. How you are going to do? Just VLC media is there, install it, configure it.
Yes.
Like that, you
Even
have
that is
your
a
server.
Yes. Okay.
Application is there. Application means there is some jar file, some
EXP,
file is there.
yeah.
File. You need to install it. That's it.
Yeah.
And you can use it. And some
So,
applications are licensed. Some are not licensed. Freeware.
Yes.
That you can use it.
So basically, deployment is like you installing an application on your laptop, but when it is a personalized laptop, it is only for you. But when it's put on a server, you can make it available for everyone. Any person who has an access for the server.
No, not like that. Like, let's say it's not personal. Like one applications you want to globally to be available. Okay, so that application you installed on your server or your machine, right? Once you application server, so every application, again networking term come into picture. Like applications run on port. Okay, there is some port 80 port 80 something port.
80 port,
so that port, if you port make open to the world, then same application. Let's say you installed one I'll talk about game application, and you want that game should be accessible by all,
everyone. Okay,
and that game applications running on some port. Let's say 80 port, or 443 port.
Yes.
Then you open that 440 port all
of that
open
IP address,
for all 000.
Yes.
Then what happen? That having some URL. Okay. That
IP address URL.
That URL give it to all, so they can just hit the URL. That application
everyone will get
use
access.
it.
So that's like global deployment.
Global
everyone will get access.
Everyone,
to that.
like before installing any application, you must have to know who is the end user. Is it open to the world or is it only your internal users?
Yes, you can give access to based on who.
Based on that, you can take the decisions.
Cool. Okay, so let us get into the resources and all. Now I'm a first year student. I come to you what are the prerequisites that are required for me to learn cloud? Prerequisites.
Okay.
Beforehand.
Yeah. So when anyone wants to start the career into
In cloud computing, yes.
may it be first year, may it be
Yeah.
fourth year,
Yes.
or may it be yes, anyone, any
Yeah.
audience. Okay, they do not know anything about cloud. Okay, so what we need to do, I always recommend, try to start with basic Linux. As I said,
Linux,
Linux
okay.
operating system.
Yes.
Okay,
Try to
so
operate Linux.
what you want to understand Linux? Linux means everything is command line.
Okay.
Okay,
Command
difference
line
between
interface.
Windows and Linux is Windows is GUI, graphical user interface. Linux is command line
Yes.
interface. And one more thing I want to say, this is not restricting to only the IT and CSE people, right?
Yeah,
it
it's
is
it's
for
anyone.
everyone.
Yes.
Many of my friends working, they are from non-IT background, BA, BSc, BCom, but they are also architect.
Yes.
Okay, so it is not restricted. People might be thinking when you talk about working in IT, it is for only the technical
Yeah, it's
people.
not, yes.
Nothing restrictions. You can do anything. Okay.
So first is Linux.
First is okay. I'll talk about.
Yeah.
First is Linux. Okay. When you talk about Linux, you want to understand all the commands, how to create the files,
Create
and one
folder,
more thing,
directory and
not
all.
theoretical. You have to
Okay,
go with the
practically
practical.
implement it.
You can use your install VirtualBox,
Yes.
or else cloud. Okay. Talk about VirtualBox. Okay.
Yeah.
VirtualBox, you configure it.
Normally,
You can
yeah.
create user, delete user,
Yes.
permissions.
Create
okay.
folder, delete folder. Yeah.
Directory. Everything start from Linux, and
Installing,
not
yeah.
you don't have to go for the L2 L3 level,
Okay.
but as a basic or intermediate skill set.
Okay.
Once you understand about the Linux, then think about the networking. Networking in
Okay.
the sense you have two machines. Okay,
Okay.
in the VirtualBox you have created two machines.
Yes.
How they will communicate with each other?
Okay. The VirtualBox and the actual computer.
No. Let's say in the VirtualBox itself you created one
Oh,
VirtualBox,
okay.
two machines. How
Understood,
the
yeah.
machines can be communicate with each
Okay,
other?
okay.
How to access internet? Okay, and how the DNS works?
So how
okay?
networking and
DNS like
works.
how like Google, we are typing google.com,
Yes.
but internally Google has some IP addresses
Exactly.
working. But to remember it, we are going naming.
DNS, yeah.
DNS work is name to IP conversion,
name
IP
service.
to name conversion. So that we need to understand.
Okay. So
Slow,
basically
slow
how
step.
networking layer works.
Networking. Once you understand the Linux, once you understand the networking
layer,
basic things,
yes.
then you are good to go. You can start. And
Okay.
one more thing I can say, if you do not have skill set into Linux and networking also, you can easily understand the cloud also. Still you can understand.
Okay.
You can go.
But
But
this is
still
preferable.
some terminology,
Yeah.
when IP addressing will come, you might be thinking what is IP address.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before that,
Correct.
if you have good understanding what is IP address, how many IP addresses are there? Let's say something people are giving. Let's say me. I do
Yeah.
not know anything about networking. I'm directly jumping into the cloud. When it is there 10.0.0 some, so then
Yeah.
what I am thinking, what is this?
What is that? Yeah.
So that it will create confusion.
Yes.
So before that, let's just clarity on basic networking, basic
Sure.
operating system.
Done.
Then you are
Okay.
good to go.
Okay. So I understand that there are three big giants out there: AWS, GCP, and Azure.
Yeah.
I want you to, in short or brief, what exactly was the difference between these three cloud services? What would you suggest a student to start? Which
Okay.
cloud services?
Yeah. This is again different questions.
Because
but-
from my understanding, of working with cloud services, Azure is for like business perspective.
no, it's not like that.
Okay.
See, okay. When I talk about the cloud, right? Cloud has some deployment model.
Okay.
Again, I'm talking about cloud. Mainly three types of cloud. One is
Okay.
public cloud,
Okay.
private cloud, and
Okay.
hybrid cloud.
Okay.
When you talk about public cloud, means cloud is publicly available. You can create your account and use it,
Yes.
just like AWS,
Okay.
Azure, GCP,
Okay.
or simple term Gmail.
Okay.
You will create
Google
your
Drive.
user account, use it. Okay.
Yes.
When you talk about private cloud, it means your own data center.
Only yours.
Only you can access it.
Yes.
And when you talk about hybrid cloud, means your some part is in public and some part
access.
because as
Yes.
like you are using your on premises
Yes.
for small things, but for the bigger one you are using your
Cloud,
public
yes.
cloud. That is.
Yeah.
Then we talk about the deployment model.
Yeah.
That is
Let us
something
also
called-
talk about career perspective also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both.
When you talk about deployment model, there is something called infrastructure as a service,
As a service.
software as a service, platform as
Platform
I'm
as
not
a
going
service.
beyond that
Yeah.
because that will take a lot of time.
Yeah.
But your questions coming to, okay, which one to people to choose?
AWS, GCP, and Azure.
AWS, GCP, they are the market leader.
They are the market
okay?
leaders.
Other
yes.
Oracle, IBM, they are, but these are the market leader.
Yeah.
So all the concept are same. AWS, let's say that I'm talking about me. I work predominantly on the AWS.
Okay.
Azure, GCP, less work, but
Okay.
I can directly work on GCP,
Yeah.
Azure. So
Okay.
one cloud anyone can study. They can understand all because all the concept are same. Networking,
the names are different.
only naming. Okay, I will give
Yeah.
one example. AWS, the virtual machine, right? We call it as a EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud Instance, EC2 instance. Same thing we called it Azure as a virtual machine.
Okay.
Same thing we called in GCP as a compute engine.
Okay.
Only the naming, but
Yes.
behind work same.
Same server,
Same server,
everything.
same
Yeah.
name, same size, all are same. So it is not like Azure is used for business purpose or
Okay.
something, but concept is anyone can use anywhere.
Yes.
And all are supporting that infrastructure as a service model, software as a service model,
Okay.
platform. So everything is similar. So
Okay.
any cloud you will understand. Like let's say you understand about AWS, you will be quite familiar with AWS, GCP, and Azure. Like let's say to understand AWS, it will take 20 days. Once you understand about AWS, GCP will take you 3 days.
Okay.
Azure will take 3 days. All are same.
Okay.
Only the UI will change
Yes.
and naming convention will change, but backend things will be same.
So what would you suggest a student to start from?
Anything they can go ahead with.
Okay, fine.
Like
Okay.
but if you talk about the simpler things, similar things, I'm not against of any cloud,
Yes.
AWS, Azure, but
Got it.
they can talk about depending on their interest. But if they are very, and then AWS also providing free tier account, like
Yeah.
when you paid
1 year or something.
1 year free tier account, but the service they are going to that is charged, but they have to stop it every time.
Okay.
GCP also
That is one problem that I think they'll be facing. They might get buried.
The problem thing is people used to create it, but they don't they did not, they forgot to stop it. Then
Yeah,
the
switch
it
it
will
off.
billing the cost.
Okay.
And Azure also giving something 10,000 rupees. GCP
Okay.
also saying $300. Something the
okay.
price there. Everyone having free tier account, use it. So whoever is free, use it.
Okay.
There is no differences. Either
Okay.
use that, but anything you can use. You can go ahead with the AWS,
Okay.
GCP, anything.
So just so the audience know, we'll be providing the resources list in our YouTube description. So if you want to start any technology, will be for all AWS, GCP, and Azure. All the 3 resources will be in the description below. Cool. So according to my understanding, I think that there are some certifications
Yeah.
for each and every
Correct.
cloud service provider. Let us talk about AWS.
Okay.
So which one do you prefer, AWS or GCP?
Yeah. No, anything. I'm
Okay,
talking
cool.
about.
Let us go with AWS.
Yeah.
AWS certification. Can you like say and the roles which are there? I think there's like architect role, there's a ML role, there's a security role. Can you say the list of the roles which are there in AWS, and then what are their responsibilities? Yeah,
Correct.
from
Sure.
there.
Yeah. So in any cloud there is a foundation course. Okay.
Foundation,
When you talk
okay.
about AWS, it called AWS Cloud Practitioner.
Cloud practitioner.
AWS
yes.
certified cloud practitioner.
Yeah.
So what that practitioner will do? It will talk about which service will do what. Okay. Let
The
me
list
talk
of all
about storage.
services.
Okay. What are the storage available?
Okay.
EBS, S3,
S3.
EFS. There is some storage. When you talk about networking, what are the services as part of the networking?
Okay.
So then I talk about what is monitoring, then which services. So it is to understand who is what. Okay, cloud practice. So that is really necessary for one candidate because he has to understand what in detail. Okay, that is a cloud practitioner. After that, there is associate level certifications.
Okay.
Associate. So associate we have 3. One
Okay.
is solution architect associate.
Okay.
One is developer associate. Developer means it's a developer background.
Okay.
Okay, and another system admin, sysadmin,
Sysadmin.
sysops.
Okay.
That these 3 are the associate level.
So are these the only roles which are there, like according to certifications, or will there be any other at
No,
entry
no.
level? We're talking about entry level
entry
only.
level, yeah,
Yeah. So based on the certificates, there are roles.
yeah,
For I think there's some 9 certifications or something.
correct.
Yeah.
So certificate. So see, as per the AWS, they have the certifications. So and they have the roles, right? Okay, one who is from the developer, they can go.
practitioner, yeah.
But in the reality, it is not happening like that. Reality in the
Okay.
sense when you go to the industry
Company,
standard,
yeah.
it's not like I am solution architect certified. I cannot do the developer job. There is nothing.
It's generalized. Okay.
For the learning path, we can say that.
Okay.
But an actual is I'm a solution architect associate, but if a developer work will come, I have to do that. Okay, so according to knowledge
That is like the reality.
that is the reality, not
Okay.
about the certification things.
Yeah.
Like I did that
It's
certification.
just a qualification that you know the technology.
Correct.
Yes.
And all the certifications,
Mhm.
any 9 I think 9 or 11 certifications are there in the AWS. I
Okay.
exactly didn't recall.
Mhm.
So all the certifications base is similar. Like
Okay.
it's not like if you do not do the solution architect associate, you cannot do the professional. Not
Okay,
like
so it's not
that.
like a roadmap.
Not roadmap. You
Okay.
can directly go to the advanced one.
Okay.
Not an it's not like
Mhm.
you have to small
Okay.
step, but it is always recommended
Advisable.
if you have to
Okay.
go to the smaller step, then it will be easier to
Mm.
understand it. And certifications, when you plan for it, all the certification base is similar. Like
Okay.
there are something 10 to 15 services.
Mhm.
If you study the 10 to 15 services, all the certification, that 10 to 15 services will be there.
Okay.
Okay, so similar only. Like
Mm.
if you talk about solution architect associate and developer associate, both are 60% similar. Only 40% new services will be
Mm.
added in the developer.
Okay.
So and for the audience, I will give on suggestions. Don't go for the certifications. Don't plan for the certifications. Always
Okay.
plan for the thing, knowledge.
Okay,
Study it.
resources.
Okay?
Okay.
How to study? Because generally, what happen when we are planning for the certifications, we have the mind into certifications,
Mhm.
and we will study
Learn
it,
it,
learn
do
it,
it,
and
okay.
create it. After
Mm.
that, we will not use it again. 1 to 2 months,
Mm.
you'll forget everything.
Okay.
So on that cases, I'm not against certification. You go for the certifications, but try to grab all the skills,
Okay.
all the knowledge you have, then go for the certifications.
Okay.
Because generally certifications have some cost. Because solution
11,000 or
architect,
something.
solution architect $150.
Okay.
Okay, professional $300.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is there. You can opt for the certifications, but better prepare it.
So when you go for a job interview or for an internship or whatever it is, like how do you showcase your experience? Because if you don't have certifications, the other way of showcasing your knowledge is through experience only.
Correct.
So how do you build a profile when it comes to cloud computing, like cloud technologies?
Yeah, the profile when you talk about freshers, you're
Mm.
talking about freshers.
Freshers
right?
only, yeah.
When you talk about freshers, certification is okay, because generally
Okay.
on the experienced candidate, people will not judge about how many certifications you did.
For example, yeah, I'm talking about freshers only, but for example, they watch YouTube courses or they did Udemy courses on the certifications. They have the knowledge. They know how many services are there, how to integrate the services or something like that. But we can't show that on our resumes. How do we show that on our resumes, and how do we convince to a company that I know this service, I've done this, I've integrated this service into an application, I've deployed some applications on a cloud? How do we showcase that?
Yeah, correct. So on the resume, on
Yeah,
that
basically,
cases,
yeah.
when you said certification is required, okay, because if you say I did the certifications,
Okay.
then I understand.
Exactly,
Or
yeah.
nowadays, what is happening? Everyone doing certifications.
Okay.
And certification does not give the clarity that you all know the services.
Exactly,
What happened?
yeah.
Because if we only plan for the questions, because certification is multiple choice questions.
Mhm.
If you
Okay.
only plan for those questions,
Exactly,
you can
yeah.
easily clear the exam.
Yes, yes.
But it doesn't mean you know
You know-
all about the services.
Yes, yeah.
So I always recommend go for the service and each details by practical. Do
Okay.
3-4 times.
How can we do that? Like how can we pick up, for example, EC2, just launch an application?
Yeah. In the EC2, like when you talk about Udemy course, right?
Yeah.
It will be there in all the details and practical. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's say EC2 all, how to create it, how to terminate
Launch
it,
it,
how to
yeah.
stop it. Okay. Then how to install the applications. Okay. How the applications make globally accessible. So
Mhm.
that we have to do 3 to 4 times.
Yeah.
Minimum 3, not like 1 times.
Mhm.
3 to 4 times, because initially when the person will start, he has to see the video, pause it, and do it like
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Then he has to do like that. Then he knowing all the things. He has to do on that such a way.
Mm.
Minimum 3 to 4 times he has to practice it. Once he is very very familiar, okay, then same thing in the resume we can mention. Okay, we know about the
Okay.
EC2 service in detail. What is load
Load
balancing,
balancer,
what is
yeah.
auto scaling. We need to
Yes.
mention.
Okay.
Then only the person who is the interviewer, right? He will understand. He knows
Yeah.
only certifications.
Exactly.
He will.
The reason
not
why
get
I
to
asked this, when it comes to app development, web development, they can showcase what they've developed, like they can just redirect it. But when it comes to cloud, the case is different.
Yeah, or else better like if you create a GitHub account,
Mhm.
GitHub or any account, so there you can whatever the things you did it, let's say you created one sample application hosted or that things you can store into GitHub,
Okay.
and that GitHub URL you can post it on,
On
your
your
on your
yes.
resume, so that whoever is interested, because as a freshers means they will be interested what you did on that on your academic or something, so they will click on the GitLab, they will understand in detail.
Understood.
That is
Okay.
also one good thing to
Okay.
showcase your profile.
So we were talking about the roles. I think first in AWS it was cloud practitioner.
Cloud practitioner, yes.
Yeah. So let us continue with that. What are roles are available when it comes to an industry of cloud, and what are their responsibilities?
Yeah. So when you talk about the initial is cloud practitioner, after that there is something associate level,
Yeah.
professional level,
Okay.
and expert level.
Okay.
Okay. When you talk about cloud practitioner, it is the practitioner stage. Okay. Initial
Yeah,
stage.
starting stage. Yeah.
Sorry.
If possible, please explain about the how much will be the placement, like the money. What
Yeah,
you call
I
it.
will talk about
Yeah, that
okay?
also. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you talk about the associate level, as I said, we have solution architect associate, developer associate, and system admin
ops.
associate.
Yeah.
Then you talk about professional. Professional means it's the toppest one, right? Then we have solution architect professional, developer professional.
Okay.
Okay. Then talk about expert level. Who is
Okay.
experting in networking,
Okay.
expert in security, database, machine learning. Okay, these are the expert level. Okay.
Okay.
That is the higher, like we can say L3, L4, L5 candidate. Okay.
Okay.
So one person doesn't have to go from start to end.
Yeah.
If a person is very interested, he can go to directly expert level or the professional level. But always go with the base one, so that you know the things correctly. Okay, that is one thing. And when you talk about the compensations, right?
Yeah.
Once a person who is a freshers, okay, if we know the thing detail, that depends. Okay, he's going for a off campus or on campus. If he's on campus, generally they have the good weightage to bring salary, right? But when they go with off campus, it depends upon the requirement and what is the budget of the company. It matters, okay? But
let us talk only about AWS itself. AWS is hiring students actively.
Yes.
So what can be the job role if they have a certificate and if they don't have a certificate?
No. If you have, he has proper time, he has good
Knowledge,
skill, good knowledge, then you go for the certifications.
Okay.
And certification has some validity 3 years. 3 years every certificate has validity 3 years. But before 3 years, you can apply for the recertificate. So that same certification number, it will be recertified another 3 years. Okay. So what I recommend is, or what I suggest is, as I said, your basic things need to be clear. Linux, networking, everything. No one is going to ask you questions more into AWS because if anyone is talking, because they know you are a freshers, you just completed, so they will not expect that you will be expert in all the things, but they expect that as your background from IT or CS or what is knowledge on, you will having knowledge on what is operating system,
what is network layers,
what is port, what is protocol, what is networking. So I always say you always do the best on these skills. Okay, you don't have to think about much into the AWS, because if you study in detail, that will help you in your job profile when you do the work. But to getting a job, rather than cloud skill much, these skills matters. Linux and networking. So always go for that.
Basically, for a person to start cloud, they go from Linux and they go to networking, and then they start some like the certifications or
they can enroll for any certificate, or I'll say
are there any
for
other
the practitioner course.
Because that is the starting one.
That practitioner. And then what you would say, like I have created one YouTube channel. For simplified cloud topic. Cloud topic means like one who wants to start a career from basic, and always to remember, don't go for the theoretical part. Always go for the practical part, and you have to do 3 to 4 times practical. So I created one YouTube channel 1 month back where I used to teach that things in detail. Cloud, for the beginners I did not start yet because only I'm starting for the intermediate and expert. But I will add the beginner videos. That
we will put it in the description.
That you can put it, or else always go for the any cloud practitioner course, because what will happen.
What I understand is all the 3 services have their own resources for students, like for people to learn on their own. Like AWS has its own, I don't know, I forgot some it has some resource list where they provide all the videos for them to learn.
No, the problem is generally, see, what generally one people like who wants to start his career, he will be in a dilemma how to use it, how to get the thing.
Okay.
Because if YouTube, what is
Mhm.
AWS, you type it, lakhs of videos
Exactly,
will come. Now,
yes.
which one he has to choose?
Exactly.
He will be in a confusion.
Yes.
Okay. So what we say on that aspect, always opt for one course.
Okay.
Okay. Let's say you are targeting Udemy,
Mm-hmm.
go for that Udemy.
Okay.
Complete it that module.
Mhm.
Once you have clear cut idea,
Mhm.
then you want to explore more. AWS has complete good documentations.
Okay.
Comparing to the other cloud, AWS has very good documentations.
Okay.
If you read only the documentations, you will have enough skill set.
Okay.
So before to that, always go for any course. May you choose from YouTube, may you choose from Udemy or any other site. Like
Actually, as of EDAM, as I said, we are from EDAM. We also curate courses or a roadmap, a proper roadmap.
correct.
A student does not has to go searching. As you said in YouTube, there's so many videos out there, and you
Correct,
don't know
correct.
where to start and all. So we are ourselves are curating a list of YouTube videos or other outside resources, all of them, and where they can just start off.
Yeah.
So
That
that
is-
is what we provide, and even that will be in the description also. So any student who wants to do that, they can go through that. We also have AWS resources, we also have GCP resources and Azure resources, and
Okay.
we will also provide your YouTube channel resources also. So as you were speaking about the roadmap, so cloud practitioner and all. So basically they just have to go through these courses.
Yeah.
They'll get an understanding of it,
Correct.
and when they get an understanding of it, they should practically, obviously implement it practically, like deploying an application or going through services and all.
Yeah.
And now they build a portfolio on that. And then, so my next question is, what are the internship opportunities or freelancing opportunities that are available in Hyderabad for a cloud practitioner, for example?
Internship are available. Like
Okay.
people are thinking about the internship,
Mhm.
or also people are, what I know that
Mhm.
people are thinking about, let's say one experienced candidate.
Mhm.
Okay, maybe 10 years experience, 5 year
Okay.
experience. What is the salary structure for that? Okay, maybe for the freshers who know about the things, because any person can know cloud work. I will also repeat that.
Yes.
Any person, cloud is very easy.
Yeah.
Only they have to give some time, 2-3 months.
Okay.
Regularly every
Okay.
day, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
After 3, he will be very good in the cloud.
Okay.
And I talk about, in everyone knows the cloud, but they do not know how to implement it.
Okay.
Where to use it.
Okay.
That will come in the general experience. May it
Okay.
be internship,
Mhm.
may it be in the
Exactly.
company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will get a chance to internship if you have very good calc. Generally, what happen? I saw many things. People are doing internship, but generally the main idea of internship is they want to review the candidate within this 2-3 months.
Okay.
After that, they will give the full-time opportunities.
Okay.
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 That the people, what the freshers, right? He doesn't have any idea what is
Mhm.
Linux, what is
Mhm.
operating
Mhm.
system, what is cloud.
Mhm.
So when you go for the internship, then and there only he is continuing and studying, which is
Yeah.
not giving any value add to the company.
To the company, and
That's
I
the
don't think
reason
companies are also taking.
they are not taking on that
Exactly.
aspect.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I always recommend. I'm recommending guys,
Mm.
you prepare well before doing the your internship.
Okay.
So that during that internship you will get all the clarity what you are doing and how the things are happening, how to use the services.
Mhm.
Then within 3 months you will get a
The-
full-time opportunity then and there.
Okay.
Or else you will get the clarity, or you will add your resume, I did that things on day-to-day
Mhm.
basis, which is give you more like exposure.
Okay. So before we end it, what would your suggestion be? Like, so we understood that cloud is easy for any person, even a non-tech background, get into
Yeah.
cloud. They can do the cloud. What would your last suggestion be for
Yeah.
like,
So
audience?
yeah, always my last suggestions are not last. Always my suggestion is do the reading habit,
Mhm.
study habit every day. You have to use
Consistency.
for 1 hour or 2 hours at least. Okay, if you have enough time, you can use it, or else at least 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay, because if you are planning to come to IT, if you don't study, then you will not grow. Okay,
Okay.
and some day, maybe now or somewhere, and you know technology is changing. Technology
Yes,
changing
it's
rapidly.
always updating. Yeah.
You know, like cloud was there, then AI/ML, data science, now ChatGPT came. Okay, so we do not know whatever the technology will come. So if we do not read or do not study, then someone is going to replace us. So my recommend always study every day for 1 or 2 hours on the cloud topic.
Okay.
Once you completing
Basically the courses.
once you completing the course also, don't think that you are done, because
Practically.
one time you completed the course, maybe you grab only 50%. Repeat that things again,
Okay.
maybe 3-4 times, then you will get all the better understanding.
Okay.
Okay, then study. If you study well, that will take you to the long run.
Actually, with cloud there is this thing called DevOps.
Correct.
What is DevOps? How is it connected to cloud? And like, basically, what is DevOps?
Okay. So when you talk about DevOps, cloud, both are similar,
Both
but
the same,
DevOps
okay.
has some more understanding. So
Okay.
basic things I will say.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say cloud, you created one virtual machine
Mhm.
and you created one application inside that. So
Okay.
how you do? You created one machine, log into that machine and install. Let's say, think about basic things. Your own laptop. Okay.
Okay.
On your own laptop, a new person joined to your organization and you configured everything for him. Okay, like you created his profile, you created the required application and given to him. Now let's say your company grow. Okay, 1,000 people join at a time. If you manually install everything now, creating profile, then how much time they will take?
Yeah.
So on that, is there any automation?
Okay.
Simple click, all 10,000 machine done, then hand it over to.
Okay.
That is called DevOps.
So
Automations, we can say as
Okay.
automations. Okay.
Okay.
Just basic things I'm telling you, because we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
DevOps
yeah.
means it will
Yes.
take longer. But how automations, like normal manual task we are doing, how the things can be done in automation so that things will go faster.
So is cloud dependent on DevOps?
No.
No.
There is
They
no
are-
dependencies between cloud and DevOps.
Okay.
And once you understand the cloud, then you can go for the DevOps.
Okay.
Not
It's
cloud.
just like okay.
And who is starting their career in DevOps also, they
Mhm.
have to understand cloud.
Okay. They have to understand cloud, but the people who are doing cloud, they don't have to go on DevOps.
Yeah. If you do not want to go for DevOps, you want to be there in the cloud army, you can go for the cloud army.
Understood.
But
Okay.
near and there, DevOps you must have to know, because
Okay.
that is the career. You need
Okay.
to go. You need to understand that.
So to sum up the whole podcast, to start off cloud, that is start with Linux,
Correct.
and then we understood a little bit of networking,
Networking.
and then you choose which cloud services you want to get into, either
Anything you
AWS
can
or
use,
GCP,
and
Microsoft,
both are similar.
and
All
all
are
three
similar.
are similar. So and then you start off with the courses. The resources will
And
be
one thing I
available.
would say,
Yeah.
don't plan for all at a time. Like AWS,
Okay.
Azure, GCP. People
Yeah.
maybe have interested. They learn about EC2, and again they will go to GCP. What is compute engine?
Okay.
Then that will kill your time, and
Okay.
you will not learn properly.
So instead of
always
that,
go
yeah.
for one cloud. Once you understand, get complete
Automatically
idea,
get-
then go for the next one.
Good. So yeah. So that is the whole podcast.
Yep.
So cool. Yeah, that was great. We understood a lot about cloud and all. Yeah, we understood even the total basics of cloud and all, and what is a server and everything. So I think that's cool. So all the resources will be available in the description. Even your LinkedIn profile will also be in the description.
Sure.
So anyone who wants to connect, they will connect with you on LinkedIn.
Correct.
And any
Sure.
questions or anything, they'll be asked. So yeah, that was a great session. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
for your
being-
time as well.
Yes.
Like I always
Yeah.
happy to help, like on that conversation, so which will
Yeah.
get good benefit for the
Yeah.
candidates. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.